ZBM TV9, Bermuda.
For a healthy salad, Wholesome Pantry Organic Salads, only $5.99. Marketplace Family Pack 85% lean ground beef, just $2.99 per pound. Kool-Aid Drink Mix, only $4.99 for a 19-ounce tub. 4-roll Cottonelle Clean Care Toilet Tissue, just $5.29. Bluebonnet Margarine Sticks, only $2.29 for a 1-pound package. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, May 10th, 2017. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us tonight. Big delays for motorists heading into and out of the East End tonight after at least 2 road traffic accidents took place near the causeway. Some motorists report having to wait more than 2 hours to get to their final destination. Word just coming to hand before airtime that a crash that took place on the causeway has since been cleared. However, police were still busy dealing with a second traffic collision at the nearby Blue Hole Hill. We've heard reports of some passengers with luggage in tow walking towards the airport seen as far back as Fractious Street. However, traffic was just starting to clear before news time. Information suggests the accident on Blue Hole Hill is considered to be very serious. Elsewhere, government statistics released last week showing Bermuda's economy is back in recession. The Progressive Labour Party highlighting the issue today during a press conference. And as opposition leader David Burt says, the numbers are deeply concerning. Mr. Byrd and Senator Kim Wilkerson brought attention to the island falling back into a recession. Some 6 years since the initial onset of economic decline, Mr. Byrd asserts that people are justified in their concerns.
The reason why, as we said many times before, it seems that in this country there are 2 Bermudas. 2 consecutive quarters of negative economic growth is a big deal, and it confirms our fears that the economy in Bermuda is not working and delivering for the people that it needs to deliver for.
Senator Wilkerson highlighting the OBA promise of 2,000 jobs remaining unfulfilled.
The Progressive Labour Party offers alternatives, not just quick fixes like pathways to status or the temporary stimulus, as fantastic as the events may be coming up of the America's Cup. Since we have been in opposition, we have spoken about the urgent need to diversify our economy. We have a long-term plan and a vision that will diversify our economy and create jobs here in Bermuda, jobs for Bermudians.
Government statistics reflect a 2.6% fall in GDP in the fourth quarter of last year. We asked whether the prospects of future employment of new hotel developments softened that blow.
If you've lost your home as a result of a foreclosure, or you are living in your car, coming does not mean anything. So what we're focusing on are these statistics. These are the facts. What's coming is a hope. I certainly, and I know the Progressive Labour Party generally, we have optimism about Bermuda. And we hope that the things that are coming are going to come. We wish they would come sooner, but they haven't. So the facts are that we have seen 2,000 job losses. And when we look at job creation quarter over quarter, there are no jobs created for Bermudians. Those are the facts.
Some suggest the economic contraction is an illusion.
Anyone to describe it as a technical recession is probably someone who is, I don't want to use the word heartless, but we knock on the doors and we see the people who are struggling inside this community. We feel, we understand. It is very difficult sometimes when you're canvassing to hear the stories of pain that exists inside of Bermuda. So when someone wants to refer to something as a technical recession, when someone wants to refer to the fact that less Bermudians are working and more non-Bermudians are working, these are the things that matter. And these are things that point to a failure of a One Bermuda Alliance government to prioritize Bermudian jobs, to prioritize investment and training, and to make sure that Bermudians can live and work inside of their own country.
The PLP using the opportunity to highlight their Vision 2025 manifesto, incorporating economic diversification and tax reform. But speaking with Gary Moreno, Deputy Premier and Minister of Finance Bob Richards dismisses the opposition's claims out of hand, arguing there is no comparison between the fourth quarters of 2015 and 2016 since the last 3 months of 2015 proved to be a positive anomaly for the island.
There is no recession. There was no recession in the second half of 2016. You have to look at these figures in an unbiased way as opposed to looking at them through the prism of politics, which I think is what we heard from the opposition. You compare the fourth quarter of 2016 to the fourth quarter of 2015. In the fourth quarter of 2015, we had the Louis Vuitton World Series event here in Bermuda. That was in October 16th to 18th. In October 2015. It generated a lot of income and a lot of economic activity during that period. There was no way we were going to beat 2015's fourth quarter at 2016. So it doesn't mean that we're in recession. It's just a very difficult comparison. In 2015, we had a situation where we brought 10,000 extra people to Bermuda in the event village on Front Street. It was estimated that that injected $8.6 million into the economy, 70% of which was from overseas. And a wide range of Bermudians benefited from that World Series event. That was what we were comparing the fourth quarter of 2016 against, and there was no way we were going to beat that. So to make that comparison and say that we're in a recession is just wrong. Nobody who knows economics is going to say that that's proof of a recession.
What's more, Mr. Richards asserts, is that the evidence the economy is in recovery is clear for all to see.
We've got all kinds of activity going on down at the airport. We've got a new hotel being built down there in St. George's. We've got Morgan's Point going on. We've got the America's Cup in Dockyard. All of these things are generating hundreds and hundreds of jobs, and they've been doing so for quite some time. So to all of a sudden to try to, instead of turning, the saying, turning lemon into lemonade, what you have here is an attempt to turn lemonades into lemon, and it's not working. So just let me be very straightforward with this. There was no recession in the second half and the fourth quarter of 2016.
Before we continue, we've just learned that a male motorcyclist has died as a result of injuries sustained from that road accident on Blue Hole Hill that we told you about earlier. Police say he is now the third person to die on the roads this year. Our condolences go to his family and friends.
You can count on us.
Purdue Fresh Value Pack chicken thighs, only $1.89 per pound. California strawberries, just $4.99 for a 1-pound package. For a healthy drink, Grace Coconut Water, just $1.39 for a 310-milliliter tin. Wyman's Mixed Berries, only $5.59 for a 15-ounce bag. Select varieties of Blue Yogurt, only $1.19 for a 6-ounce tub. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us. Breeze and Brook.
Less than 25% of Bermudians have saved enough to enjoy retirement. Yes, it's easy to come up with excuses: credit card debt, children's education, low wages. Although these things can put a strain on your budgets, they don't make it impossible to save. At Friesenbrook Meyer, we'll show you how. And it's never too late. Call us for a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Breeze and Brook. Covering possibility.
Jane's a senior living alone. Although she's getting old, like all of us, she's still young at heart and wants to live a full life. So she hired our trained caregivers at Bermuda In-Home Care. We're a one-stop shop that includes home cleaning, meal preparations, medicine purchases with free delivery, transportation, and much more. So Jane is free to do what's truly important to her. Call 441-705-4424 now for a free consultation or visit our website at bermudainhomecare.com today for more information.
Be watching on Monday, May 15th for the 108th Pre-Applebee Bermuda Half Marathon Derby Special. One thing is certain, new champions will be crowned as the race comes out of the East End for only the second time in 39 years. Last year's winners Lamont Marshall and Ashley Eswanick have opted not to compete. Several key runners are absent this year, but we will be speaking with the new favorites. That's the Pre-Applebee Bermuda Half Marathon Derby Special, Monday, May 15th at 8 p.m. on ZFB TV 7. The days, the hours, and the minutes are counting down until the 35th America's Cup opens on the Great Sound. This Thursday evening, join me, Mike Sharp, and the 600-strong army of local volunteers on the Axel Catlin First Mates program as we take a look at the past, present, and the potential legacy of AC-35 in Bermuda. And then stay with us for the rebroadcast of last year's Foil Fest special when Oracle Team USA and SoftBank Team Japan exclusively opened their bases to the Bermuda public. That's an hour of America's Cup on Bermuda Broadcasting this Thursday at 8 p.m. on ZFB TV 7.
Government has announced that it will not appeal the decision by a judge to allow a Bermudian to legally marry his non-Bermudian husband. Home Affairs Minister Patricia Gordon Pamplin, in reaction to the ruling, says while we accept that widespread support of this very sensitive and emotive issue of marriage equality is difficult to achieve, we do, however, recognize that as a community we must be able to have open and honest conversations which help to encourage awareness, understanding, tolerance, and respect for one another. Elsewhere, high-tech electricity failsafe installed at Malabar Field in Dockyard to ensure no loss of power during the America's Cup event. Gary Moreno and cameraman Gareth Fletcher visited the recently installed facility, which, as Gary explains, does not come cheap.
The creation of Cross Island as the base for the America's Cup and much of the attendant activities has no doubt meant additional load on the island's electricity system. But Denton Williams, Chief Operating Officer at Belco, assures the company has taken the necessary measures to meet that demand.
So far, the event village itself is expected to be about 2.5 megawatts, ranging up to 4 megawatts to include the entirety of Dockyard. But the entire event, beyond the event village, is actually somewhat unknown because a lot of it is hotel occupancy, guest houses, people Airbnb-ing, and a lot of other general increases in utilization.
To that end, the company has partnered with a foreign company, Agreco Limited, to create a mini power generation facility of sorts to assist in ensuring a constant supply of electricity, not just to the America's Cup village, but indeed all of Dockyard during the events.
The first thing we did was take an analysis of the grid infrastructure and to see what capacity we had to deliver. And then we did a risk analysis to see what were the potential scenarios that we could run into. And as a result of that, we decided that we wanted to deploy some distributed generation that would be able to support the grid and also to act as a contingency should there be a larger grid event.
And with the America's Cup taking place at the height of the summer, which is when the company engages in load shedding to take some of the strain off its system, what does that mean for the America's Cup village?
The event village actually isn't in the load shedding scheme, so it wouldn't be subjected to a load shed event. Should one occur, these units are already online providing power, and if it was something catastrophic, hope that doesn't happen. But if there was something catastrophic, the main purpose of these units is to be available, to be online, provide capacity. And meanwhile, Belco Central will continue to provide the capacity and resources for the rest of the country.
Of course, this all comes at a cost. So, who's footing the bill?
We as a community are paying for it. Obviously, this is something that matters to Bermuda, and we have an obligation to serve. So we bought the facility in, and we obviously have to socialize that cost. But as the event, we believe it has benefits for everybody else. These costs are for the wider community, company included as well.
If you had to put a dollar figure on the amount, what would it be?
This is approximately $1 million.
At least a fuel surcharge has gone down to bring some relief to Belco customers.
With all the electricity being generated by the America's Cup, it is perhaps only understandable that Belco is taking every precaution to ensure that nothing happens to short-circuit the event. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And in other news, a pledge by Kim Swan, the St. George's West candidate for the PLP, to provide a special water pipeline that would serve households in the East End has not gone well with water truckers. Mr. Swan made the pledge last week in St. George's as he was officially unveiled to run for the opposition party in the upcoming general election.
We will provide solutions to those residents calling for a pipeline providing drinking water to households west of Khyber Pass. And if you want to know, west of Khyber Pass is right in this community right here. They would like to have a pipeline where they can have some water too.
However, Russ Ford, the vice president of the Bermuda Water Truckers Association, in reaction to Mr. Swan's plans, cautioned the economic impact such system would have on business owners.
Well, just say we've already seen the impact of pipelines with Bermuda Waterworks and what have you that has gone throughout the island, right up into the west end of the island. And we know that has affected our business as well. So while it sounds good to put in a pipeline, from a very selfish point of view, the water truckers themselves would be basically put out of business to a large degree. I think that if the government invested more into their own infrastructure as far as water supply is concerned, then we'll be able to meet the needs of not just the customers, but also the water companies.
Elsewhere, Mr. Ford stressing that residents must check their tanks now to avoid finding themselves on a long waiting list for water later. And speaking of water, a lack of water was enough to shutter both the Transport Control Department and the Emissions Control Center today, both agencies announcing near noon that they had no choice but to close their doors early. No word yet on whether or not the problem has been fixed. And it's not what we want, but a slight chance of a lingering shower or two this evening in the wake of today's light rainfall. Let's head over to the AccuWeather headquarters for the full details.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This forecast is brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group, and it was just a bit rainy out there today, wasn't it? That's because we have a cold front that pushed through. It is now to the southeast of the island, and we are expecting nothing but dry conditions for the next 24 hours or so. So things are already improving as of right now. Taking a look at the current conditions in St. George's and across the island, 72 degrees for the high temperature. Humidity 75%, winds out of the west from 11 to 15 knots. Water temperature 75, waves inside the reef 1 to 2 feet and outside 4 to 7. There was a small craft advisory, but that will be relieved tonight after that cold front moved through and things start to calm down just a little bit. So tonight, it's going to be a bit breezy still, with a few leftover showers in the area. It will certainly dry up, though, throughout the night. 67 degrees for the temperature. Tomorrow, periods of clouds and sun with just a brief passing shower, but for the most part, it's going to be sunny and beautiful. A high temperature of 73 degrees, a low of 65. Let's take a look at at the tide times. The first high tide, 9:24 on Wednesday night. The second one at 9:41 a.m. on Thursday. If you're traveling, perhaps heading home or maybe just on an adventure, we have a couple other forecasts to tell you about. Toronto, it's a cloudy day, 56 degrees. New York is dry, 62. Boston, some showers. Atlanta, it's beautiful, 89 degrees with sunshine. Miami is even nicer, 91 degrees. Not too humid either, with the temperature or with plenty of sunshine. And in London, they are seeing some thunderstorms. Closer to the islands in Jamaica, 90 degrees with showers. Barbados and Trinidad, everyone's getting wet. Trinidad, a high temperature of 93 degrees. Taking a look at this 5-day forecast, well, tomorrow shouldn't be a complete washout, just some showers moving through. But then we will also have another system approach, and we will develop more showers throughout Friday night. Saturday is going to be beautiful. High pressure builds. We'll have lots of sunshine, temperatures at 75 degrees. And on Sunday, we could see a couple more showers pass through, 78 degrees. But by Monday, things dry out. Now stay tuned to your local weather and news with Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
If you're looking for extra savings and free benefits
with car insurance
and home insurance,
Colonial has just the cover you need.
There's a free $250 gift voucher for new home insurance customers, too. And 10% car insurance discount if you have home insurance.
With a claim service that's quick and friendly.
We call it Cover Without Added Costs.
Call for a quote on 296-3700 or visit cgigroup.com.
Colonial, where people come first.
This sports profile is brought to you by the Appleby Bermuda Half Marathon.
looks good, but probably not for me. It probably looks good for some of the other speedy girls. I'm coming back from injury the last year, and it's taken me a lot longer to come back to the level that I want to be at. So every race is a little bit better for me, but May 24th is probably just a little bit too soon to have a really outstanding race. And I think whoever wins that race this year in the women's is going to have to really push hard and work for it. I know where my fitness is at, and I know where my fitness has been, and I know that there's still a big gap there. So I'm working at it, and I've got bigger goals at the end of the year, and so every race for me is getting better and better, and I'm happy with that, and that's all you can really ask for at this point, right? So I'm happy, but best of luck to all the girls who are going to fight for it. I guess I'll have a spectator seat at the back of the race.
Triathlon becomes the third Carifta event. Olympian Flora Duffy's season set to get underway, and Bermuda equestrian riders continue competing in the Netherlands. Earl Basin has all the details and more in tonight's sports report.
The sport of triathlon has joined the Carifta ranks, as Barbados is set to host the inaugural Carifta Triathlon and Aquathon Championships at the Garfield Sobers Sports Complex October 7th and 8th. 11 regional triathlon federations, including Bermuda, met in Miami and voted unanimously for Barbados to stage the groundbreaking event. President of the Bermuda Triathlon Association, Stephen Petty, is excited to have this new event agreed upon.
There's a group that's been working on this for about a year now, and at the end of April, there was a meeting of many of the triathlon nations in the Caribbean, and there was a vote unanimously to start in October of this year. In Barbados will be the host country, Carifta Triathlon. The distances will be similar to what we put on here in Bermuda for the youth, and I think it's great in that I think Bermuda has a pretty strong triathlon program, so we're looking to do big things. We still have to ratify the qualification process for the local athletes, but that will be done shortly, and we look forward to having representation. The one little bit of a snag that we're not totally in agreement with is that it's going to be done, the swim will be done in a pool, and we're not sure how they're planning to do that, but it will be held at the Garfield Sobers Recreation Center in Bridgetown, so we wait to see.
In the third stop of the 2017 World Triathlon Series, the elite athletes now head to Japan. One of those athletes is the 2016 reigning ITU World Champion Flora Duffy. After being forced to pull her name off the start list in both the Abu Dhabi and Gold Coast events this season due to injury, Duffy is finally ready to line up this weekend to begin her quest of reclaiming her world title. Duffy's Cinderella story was realized last year when she claimed 4 WTS podiums and 2 victories that aided in the seizing of the world crown for the first time for the small Caribbean island woman. So after missing the first 2 WTS competitions, Duffy is eager to get back on the blue carpet. Jillian Teixeira and Tyler Lopes were back competing in the CSI Van der Swade International Horse Jumping event in the Netherlands. Both competed in the CSI 1 Medium Tour 1.25-meter Table A against the clock class on day 2. Teixeira, riding Junior Van Het Crosserveld, recorded a clear round time of 77.32 to finish 13th. Teixeira would also compete on Chakova in the same class, and they would finish 33rd with a time of 65.88, but they had 8 penalty fault points. Lopes, riding Escalada, had to retire. Meanwhile, the Bermuda Equestrian Federation has received confirmation that the 2017 FEI World Jumping Finals has been rescheduled for July 27th through to the 29th. The finals will be held in Algeria. Bermuda Equestrian Federation confirmed that Carista Rebane will compete and represent Bermuda at the finals. A day after defeating Kent in a 50-over match, Delray Rollins and his Sussex Seconds teammates were back in action for a 3-day match against the same opponents. Kent would score 392 all-out after 90.1 overs with centuries from Zach Crawley and Ollie Robinson. Rollins would finish with figures of 9 overs, 2 maidens, none for 40. At the close of play, Sussex found themselves 42 for 2, with Rollins at the wicket, however not yet off the mark. When play resumed this morning, Rollins went back to bat and lost his overnight partner with only 6 runs added to the overnight total. Rollins would then add a 33-run fourth wicket partnership with Jack Jenner before being caught. Rollins went for 24 after facing 55 deliveries and was at the wicket for 75 minutes, hitting 4 fours. In his final meet in the boys 10 and under age group division, Elijah Daly had 6 record-breaking performances during the MAC, a pros invitational over in Canada. Daly had a record-breaking performance while winning the boys 10 and under 200-meter freestyle, clocking 2:25.42, breaking the previous record of 2:31.59 he set back on May 22, 2016. Daly would again be on top of the podium following his record-breaking performance in the boys 10 and under 100-meter breaststroke, clocking 1:27.02, breaking his own record of 1:27.65 he set back in March of this year. During the boys 10 and under 50-meter backstroke, Daly stopped the clock in a time of 35.45, picking up yet another win. This time, it also broke the previous record of 36.97 he set back on May 15, 2016. It was another record-breaking performance during the boys 10 and under 50-meter freestyle when Daly touched the wall in a time of 30.04, breaking the previous record he set back on May 22, 2016 during the Bermuda National Championships. Another record would fall following the boys 10 and under 50-meter butterfly as Daly was clocked at 31.75, which broke the record of 32.99 he set back on May 21st, 2015 during the Bermuda National Championships. The 6th and final record that he would set came in the boys 10 and under 200-meter breaststroke when he touched the water in a time of 3:03.59, which breaks the record of 3:24.98 he set back on April 23rd, 2016 during the MAC Invitational. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Price Rate is your one-stop shop with something for everyone. Household goods for kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom. Aisles of bulk groceries at value prices. A complete selection of fresh meat and produce, and an extensive range of frozen items to cover every meal. Wines from around the world, and beer and liquor at discount prices. Visit Price Right at our 2 locations in Pembroke and Warren. There's always something new and always something for everyone.
It's an event made for television. And as the America's Cup official host broadcaster, we'll be taking you very close to the action. So close, you'll almost be able to taste the ocean spray. The race action will be thrilling. And Bermuda Broadcasting will be located in the heart of the America's Cup event village, right here in Dockyard, to capture all the excitement. We'll have live interviews, contests, and entertainment, and our radio personalities will be here at the race venue to host their shows. Our station's getting a major makeover just in time for the event. New equipment's arriving all the time. We refitted our radio studios, and now the TV hardware is coming in. Innovation is the buzzword at Bermuda Broadcasting, and after winning a Tech Award for our Rio Olympic Games app, we're ready to make the America's Cup the biggest television event in local memory. We know you'll enjoy the ride.
Be sure to watch a very special edition of Up Close with Colin Thompson, featuring Bermuda's English County cricketer, Delray Rawlins, Wednesday, May 10th on ZFB TV7, beginning at 8 p.m. Watch as the exciting Sussex all-rounder offers insight into his budding career and meteoric rise to first-class cricket.
If you'd have said back in September that I was going to play the first championship game of batting at 3, I'd have laughed at you and said you're trying to have me on. But
this and more on a very special edition of Up Close with Colin Thompson, Wednesday, May 10th on ZFB TV7, beginning at 8 p.m. Sponsored by PG Sports, Paradise Air Charters, Lindo's Group of Companies, New Day Organics, exclusive distributors of Hydrate Alkaline Water, Robin Hood Pub and Restaurant, and Dennis Wainwright and Family.
Inquiries are currently being conducted into a series of commercial property burglaries reported over the weekend. Sometime early Sunday morning and early Monday morning, intruders entered premises in the Victoria Street and Parsons Road Pembroke areas, the Lovers Lane Paget area, the Middle Road Warwick area, and the Middle Road Southampton area. A quantity of cash and 3 motorcycles described as a black and white Yamaha Nuvo, a black Yamaha Nuvo, and a green Honda motorcycle were removed from the Paget property. It is unclear now what, if anything, was taken from the other commercial properties. Witnesses or anyone that may have seen two men acting suspiciously near businesses in the affected areas this past weekend are asked to contact the Criminal Investigations Department on 247-1744. That's our broadcast for this Wednesday evening. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.